Well, hey, real estate fans, welcome back to Market Statistics for Southern Oregon. I'm Alice Lema. I'm a broker here in beautiful Southern Oregon at John L. Scott Real Estate. And these are the statistics for the week ending June 23rd, 2025. And we've got some changes happening. Let's start with Jackson County. Jackson County prices year over year this week are down 8%. The average residential home in Jackson County now costing $490,942. The number sold year over year in Jackson County are down 6%. We had 43 closings on SOMLS in the residential market this week. The number of listings were up 13%. There's 944 active listings in Jackson County residential alone. We had one foreclosure in Jackson County this week. It sold for $169,000 in Shady Cove. It was a double wide on 1 acre. We had 0 short sale closings, and we had $1 million closing in Jackson County this week. It was for $1 million, and it was in Ashland. Josephine County prices year over year were down 7%. The average residential home in Josephine County now costing $426,500. The number of solds year over year were down 33% in Josephine County this week. There were only 14 closings in the residential market in Josephine County this week. The number of listings year over year were up 13% this week. In Josephine County, there are now 475 active listings on SOMLS in Josephine County. We had 0 closings for the foreclosure market. We had 0 short sales closing, and we had $0 million sales in Josephine County residential market this week. Klamath County now has a little different story. Klamath County prices were up 37% this week. The average residential in Klamath County this week was $446,590. The number of solds were down 9%. There were only 10 closings on SOMLS in Klamath County residential this week. The number of listings in Klamath County this week were up 41%. There are now 452 active listings on SOMLS in Klamath County residential market. We had 0 foreclosures closing in Klamath County this week, 0 short sales, but we did have $1 million property close in Klamath County, and it sold for $1.3 million. It was in Klamath Falls, and I just have to tell you, the house was 8,700 square feet. 8,700 square feet. That's like a shopping center, a small shopping center. And it was on 1 acre, and it was built in the year 2000. So newer construction in house years. And that's part of what is making the average price go up this week in Klamath Falls. However, the prices in Klamath Falls have been going up steadily over the last couple of years. And I want to point out a couple of other things, that the prices were down in Jackson and Josephine County this week. Jackson by 8%, Josephine by 7%. And those are our strongest counties. The fact that Klamath was up is great, but it is a weaker county as far as housing goes. So what I want to focus on is that there's a downward trend in prices and an upward trend. Again, it's repeatedly in the number of listings. So inventory is going up. We have quite a few houses. We have a shortage of buyers. So, some markets are more even, where we have the right amount of buyers to the right amount of listings. And we've been flip-flopping. There was several years where we had way more buyers than listings to serve them. And now we have way more listings than we have buyers. So a little bit behind on that department. And so that creates more opportunity for buyers, but there's still opportunity for sellers. And we went into some detail about that in our other podcast this week called Slow and Low, the 2025 mid-year report. And it goes into some depth about the opportunity for sellers and the opportunity for buyers, and what's really happening, not only in Southern Oregon, but nationally. So check that podcast out as well. In the meantime, do give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980, 541-301-7980. I want to be your real estate agent. I'm great with listings. I'm great with buyers, great with downsizers, upsizers, great with investors. And the waterfront is very, very popular in Southern Oregon. The farm property is very popular. I'm great in those situations as well. So give me a call, give me a text, and enjoy the great Southern Oregon weekend. We'll see you next time, folks. Bye now.